How's it going, everyone? This is your Astrology Horoscope for Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. I'm astrologer Alex Skyles, and welcome to the Moonbase. It's the last day of April, right? There's a lot of kind of moving on energy today. Mars is at the last degree of Pisces at the very last minute. This moon in Capricorn at 29 degrees, 59 minutes. Is going to be making a nice sextile to Mars as Mars ingresses into Aries. And this is a long-awaited move here, right? This is a long-awaited chess move. It's been very drawn out, very patient. We've been very patient, and we've been on a long journey here. So with the moon ingressing into Aquarius at 0 degrees, Mars and Aries at 0 degrees. Venus just moved into Taurus. It hits 1 degree today. The sun now at 10 degrees. Jupiter now at 24 degrees. So we're in whole new territory today. And we can start to really feel some positive forward momentum and expansion really start to come through. Especially related to this Jupiter transit that we've been going through. You know, we're only 6 degrees away from the end till Jupiter comes into Gemini. We're not that far away. So with the moon making a sextile to Mars at the very last degree of Capricorn, the last minute, the last degree of Pisces, and the last minute, this is like finally we can start to move forward and move through this subconscious energy and the kind of the subconscious muck and the tired kind of energy that we've been going through. I know a lot of people I've been talking to is like, I'm just feeling this tiredness, right? And it's kind of this weight, you know, Mars just conjunct Saturn, it just conjunct Neptune, and now Mercury, or the moon in Capricorn, and a Saturn ruled sign. You know, Mars just took a very heavy journey here through the fog, through the weight of Saturn. Now it's like finally we get to restart, rejuvenate, and revitalize ourselves along with Venus just beginning its transit through Taurus and its ruler, right? So we're going to have Mars and its ruler, Venus and its ruler, we have Neptune and its ruler. We got 3 major planets and their rulers, right? So Venus is activating the sun. It's activating Uranus. It's activating Jupiter. And the moon, you know, emotionally, it's like we're ready to really bring the rewards from the hard work and the long journey up this foggy mountain that we've been blazing on, you know, or floating on, really. It kind of has felt like we've been floating through the intensity, through the heaviness, right? And there's been this floaty, heavy energy. And now things can start to really lighten up and really feel some positive forward momentum here. And now that Jupiter's just at 24 degrees of Taurus, it's just like, wow. Like we're really starting to see like how this manifestation that we've been activating here through Taurus season is really starting to show up and expand in our lives. Wherever it's at in your chart is different for everybody, but we're all feeling it. We're all experiencing it. And finally, you know, with this kind of sleepy energy we've been going through, it's like, bam, like, check it out. I mean, the moon comes into 0 degrees Aquarius, right? Right when Mars enters Aries at 0 degrees, 0 minutes. And here we are in a whole new paradigm. Just within a matter of minutes. It's just like the whole energy and the whole paradigm shifts here, right? So Mars and Aries, this new rebirth, this new cycle, this new rejuvenation of our identity starting to really reveal itself. And Mercury at 17 degrees of Aries, really starting to get some speed, get some traction here. I mean, let me take a look and see the speed of Mercury. It's still moving slow. It's not moving very fast at all. But this moon is out of bounds, right? So our emotions can kind of feel a little all over the place. Sorry, I think the chart is a little low. There it is. So with this moon out of bounds, making this sextile to Mars, it's like, we can emotionally kind of be a little over the top, but it's okay. We want to express these emotions and, in ways that are kind of over the top and a little bit radical, and it's fine, and we can really get to a deep, 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 deep place within ourselves today, especially with the moon coming into Aquarius, sextiling Mars as Mars comes into Aries, and then the moon is going to conjunct Pluto. So there's a lot of uncovering, a lot of revealing, and it's a lot of awakening that's happening today. It's like we've been asleep, and this Pluto is pretty much ready to go retrograde here in the next 3 days. 2 days, really. So, Pluto's about to stop. And this is its journey back into 29 degrees of Capricorn, and that's going to be the last time we'll ever see Pluto be in Capricorn for the rest of our lives. For the next 250 years, right? So along with that, with this being said, with so many planets, kind of in this new phase and this new era and this new energy, there's a lot of newness today, right? A lot of newness, especially with Mercury starting to move forward. We can really start to piece together like all these kinds of healing related issues about ourselves that, we haven't been able to really piece together. Like the pieces of the puzzle are just becoming more clear. And I think today with this moon conjunct Pluto, we can really reveal some deep, deep unconscious stuff that can really help us move forward with this Mars and Aries now. And I feel like, we kind of been a little stuck, in this moon. Before it's, conjuncts Pluto, it will square over to Venus. So when it comes to our values and our identity and how we want to radicalize and revolutionize our lives, I think, it's important to kind of detach and realize our values and our way of life is really transforming and things don't really stay the same with these fixed energies here in Aquarius and Venus and Taurus. We got to remind ourselves that, when we get stuck and we feel that kind of stuck energy, we have to remind ourselves that things never stay the same. We don't get the time back. Time only moves forward. Retrogrades are just an illusion. So this Mars and Aries is fuck anything that's going to hold me back. Forget about any kind of fixed, stubborn energy that's really going to just create walls that are impenetrable, which Taurus and Aquarius can do. This Mars is ready to just fucking bam, let's go. So this is really going to be kicking us into gear and also challenging us to really just not be stuck in the old patterns and the old ways and the old, kinds of, traditional ways of doing things. This moon and Pluto squaring Venus, and this Venus, getting ready to square Pluto by tomorrow. Officially, really maybe by this evening, but, it's we can't be stuck, especially in our relationships. It's if we have relationships where our values and our, the connection in the relationship just seems a little off or a little disconnected. It's we have to really communicate, and really find a common ground here and, express how we truly feel, and express the deep suppressed feelings, because this can be like a pressure cooker ready to release some, very deep, deep, deep emotions, but also we want to have the ability to detach from the emotions to really convey them and not be so attached to the emotions where things can really, boil over or get over the top. Because if we get too lost in that, it's really going to put a dampener on all this Taurus manifesting energy that we're getting here through May and in the beginning of June that we're not going to get for a long time, So the sun in Taurus and Venus in Taurus and Uranus and Jupiter after its conjunction, it's really just bringing in a whole new sense of optimism and positivity in our lives, and once Venus gets off its square to Pluto and we kind of go through these challenges in our relationships where our values and where we're stuck and where we're stubborn and how we want to really connect and the connections that aren't really off, it's like, it doesn't mean things really gotta end, right? It just means there needs to be some verbalization or addressing these issues and being willing to move forward in a positive way, because this Mars in Aries is ready to go. It's only moving towards this north node. Mercury is 2 degrees off of, where it went retrograde. It's going to meet with Chiron again. So, we're still working through a lot of traumas. We're still working through a lot of where we're wounded and disconnected, and I think even some deeper, like darker stuff and some darker feelings can come up. Chiron's opposing Black Moon Lilith today at 20 degrees. So it can bring up some really deep, dark, intense emotions that, need to be addressed, need to be communicated about, and especially where it's connected to our relationships. Venus dispositing the South Node, with Venus also in its ruler. This is very important. Relationships are very important all through Venus, this Venus to Taurus transit, and all through Taurus season, but especially right now. Especially today with Venus squaring Pluto, getting ready to, and the South Node being activated, right? Like the sun is in the second decan. The sun's going to come to 11 degrees today. So, we're moving through Taurus season pretty quickly here. Much faster than, time is moving much quicker than, we can perceive sometimes. And that's kind of a Saturn, and that's typical for a Saturn Pisces transit, where it's like, one day it feels like things are just lulling and moving slowly, especially with Mars transiting through Pisces, conjunct Neptune. It's like, damn, like, are we moving quick? Are we moving slow? It's like now with Mars in Aries, it's like shit is going to speed up times 10, and Jupiter really coming on strong. The sun getting ready to approach with Venus. It's like, man, like we're so ready to expand our lives in a whole different way, and all these beautiful, unexpected things are really going to start to pop up as Venus gets closer to the sun, gets closer to Uranus and Jupiter over the next 2 to 3 weeks here. Mercury's going to follow, and Mars is kicking our ass into gear, and whatever issues and relationships are popping up, we have to work through them, whether it's the power struggles or beliefs just being, feeling like they're not connecting, or opinions, or, values, or financial stuff. We're going to see that in the world, especially like, financial things in the realm of the financial world be really shaken up here, but that's going to be a positive outcome, I think, as Venus gets closer to Uranus and Jupiter. But this trigger point by tomorrow, when Venus officially squares Pluto, there's going to be some things that happen over the next few days that are really going to shake things up and really trigger some deep shit in a lot of people and in a lot of systems and a lot of structures, and definitely something related with technology or social media, the internet. We're going to see some massive shakeups over these next few weeks here. And the moon is activating Pluto today, so it's like, the very scorpionic day. You want to not be so caught up in the control and the manipulation and, the unconscious stuff. It's like we want to let the stuff boil up and be able to disconnect, to observe it in a healthy way and be able to communicate it, with Mercury starting to move forward on its way to meet Chiron for the third and last time. We want to channel it in a positive, healthy way. We're finally, Mars is beginning a new cycle. We've been waiting for this since Mars came out of Capricorn, right? So finally, we can start to really take action and move forward in a bold, positive, strong, innovative, youthful way. That's what I love about Aries energy, is like, it's youthful. It's new, it's refreshing, it's young. So coming into today, it's like we can feel like we're finally moving into a new chapter. It's like the end of this old cycle of this heavy burden and these heavy experiences that we've been going through, and now things can start to really move forward in a positive way and lighten up a bit. But we do have to work through this Venus square Pluto, along with the moon conjunct Pluto squaring Venus today. So when it comes to our relationships, our values, our self-worth, and the connections and the relationships that we have, there can definitely be some trigger points, but working through them and communicating in a healthy way, it's possible now that Mercury is starting to move forward. And we want to be able to address these things in a healthy way so we can really grab a hold of all this wonderful, amazing, positive Taurus, Jupiter, Uranus, Sun, Venus energy that's coming through. We're not going to get it for a while. So don't let the dark shit or the negativity consume you. It can be easy to fall into that. Honestly, it could be easier, to be honest, to not fall into that. Now that Mars is out of Pisces, it could be easier to just be like, take a blow. Just, fuck it. It's all good. Keep moving forward. We'll figure it out. That's what I love about Aries energy is it just keeps moving forward. Almost in kind of like a naive kind of way, right? Pisces can come across as naive on a surface level, but deep inside it's like, Pisces feels everything. It's been through everything. It's seen everything. It's senses everything. It's overwhelming. Now we can kind of naively just keep charging forward in a way where, things kind of roll off a little easier, and that's a good thing about Mars coming into Pisces, or coming into Aries, I'm sorry. What do we got here? Oh, we got the Eight of Swords. So it's like you don't want to get trapped. You don't want to get stuck. You don't want to let, the pain and the wound and the suffering and the fucking, the woe is me victim shit, like, that's ending. Now that Mars is coming into Aries, it's like that shit's over. I think today the moon will sextile with Mars at 29 degrees, but still with Mars at 29 degrees, it's like, blah, why me? I'm so tired. I'm ready to fucking, get out of this. I don't want to be stuck anymore. It's like, we don't have to be. Mars is helping us not be so stuck. And we want to grab a hold of that energy so we can keep moving forward in a positive way, in a whole new way. Because I think, too, when Mars gets closer to the North Node, it's like we're going to be ready to kind of maybe not change course, but understand the path and the course that we're supposed to be on, that's connected to our destiny and our karmic path here and what we're dealing with. So, getting out of the mud, getting out of the muck and not being stuck in the woe is me kind of crap, is, and not just like putting the blinders up and just staying like blind to things. You want to call the shit like it is, right? Mercury, getting ready to conjunct with Chiron for the third and last time before it comes out of shadow. This is the best time to just call it like it is, and it doesn't mean you got to be overly aggressive about things or whatever, definitely with Mars and Aries, it's just like, fuck it, let's go, put them up. Like, let's take it outside, it's like trying to be a little bit more rational and a little bit more patient. Mars is in Aries. It's not the most patient place for Mars, but at least it can really push us forward and ignite some inspiration and some passion and some youthfulness into our step, right? Our libido is finally going to increase. The libido with Mars and Pisces is not really there. It's just like, I don't want to move. I just want to dissolve into my bed and just stay here all day long and, fall asleep. It's like with Mars and Pisces, it's like sleeping becomes a physical activity. It's like, oh, I'm burning calories while I sleep. I don't think so. That's just a Neptunian fantasy, right? So now things can start to get real and lighten up a bit, and the passion can start to reignite in our lives. And that's what we've been missing really since Mars has come out of Capricorn. When Mars and Venus conjunct Pluto, shit started getting real intense and real deep. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. If you're new here, subscribe to my channel, like this video. My Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and Taurus reading sale is still available. There's a few days left at the end of May. Going into June, it'll still be up when Jupiter comes into Gemini. make sure you jump on top of that, or not going to get this energy again. So to see where that's happening for you in your chart, now is the time to do so. So if you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like this video, go to the link, all the links in the description of this video that will take you to my booking website, will take you to my Instagram, my Spotify, which I may not post on Spotify anymore. I've been thinking about it, you know, just to kind of consolidate everything here to YouTube. But TikTok, all the shit, all the links to all my platforms, including the booking website, are in the description of this video. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.